Hi, here is my scrapbooking of one of the days in Budapest. I started out by laying out all my photos where I wanted them, and then I decided that I want to make this a leafy background, so I got some leaves off the internet from Free Picks, and I also got this digital paper for the letters for Budapest to go across the top. The links to this will be in the description, and I'll put links to all products used in there too. So I used this, as you can see here, to spell out Budapest, and then I've nested it in Silhouette software, sent it to print and cut it out, and then here I am peeling it off the mat. I did put some re-sticky stuff on the mat, so everything was very well stuck down. Normally this would peel off pretty easily, but I had to be really careful because I didn't want to rip the card, especially with some of those more detailed leaves. So after I got everything off that sheet, I started laying it all out where I wanted it. As you can see on the O's, I actually cut these with a die from Crafter's Companion. It wasn't supposed to be a letter, but I thought, ooh, that looks like an O. And I cut it out of a brochure from the zoo. And then I cut the Z out on my silhouette to match the kind of zigzaggy cut of the circles. So here what I am doing is I'm trying to work out how many photos I could fit backed on the green, because I wanted the back of the photos to be green, and I was going to make them into tabs so I could have them on top of each other. So I'm cutting it to the size of the back of the piece of paper. Rather than wasting paper and having it just slightly bigger than the photo, I thought if I cut it the same size and put the tab on the bottom, the top will be covered up by the tape that I was going to be using to make a hinge or like a flap, so it would be able to be lifted up and down. So you can see here I went back to my little trusty book that came with the We Are Memory Keepers all-in-one tool, and this was just to check how to make the middle tabs again, because I wasn't sure whether I wanted a side or middle tab. So I first made some in paper, as you can see here, so I could get an idea without cutting into my card. I laid them out kind of on top to see what they looked like. I did put a post up on my Instagram for people to vote on, and I still couldn't really decide, so I made these in green just so I could see them both, and I think they're the ones I put on Instagram because obviously it was hard to see with the white. So I made one of each just so I could see, and then Instagram came out as well as some messages from people who don't have Instagram. They all said to go for the side because it was going down the side of the page in the scrapbook. So you can see me here stacking and lining them all up. I did make a slight mistake because the last one that I cut, I made just a tiny bit because I thought, oh, it's just going to be stuck on the bottom of the page, so it won't need an actual tab to lift because it's going to be stuck down to the actual scrapbook page. I then stuck one down that had the full backing, so later on you'll see me actually cut that. So here I am just sticking all those photos onto these, and I wanted them to have a nice back because obviously when you lift it up you can see that back of those photos. So here's the one that I made a bit smaller because I thought, oh, that'll go on the bottom. Then I decided to pencil out the names of the animals. So on the tab it would say the name of each animal. I did this in pencil first and then went over in a black pen to kind of make it look more calligraphy, so I did thicker downs and thinner ups and things like that, so it looks a bit more like the writing. This is a really good tip for people whose writing isn't the best, which mine isn't. My handwriting's awful, so doing this I know it's going to be neat and I'm not making any mistakes with the pen, and then the trick of thickening the downstrokes afterwards. Makes it look like that fancy hand lettering, but it's not. It's a good cheat. So here you can see I am putting tape over that back part and slightly above, so that I can make that hinge, and then I'm putting it over the top as well. I did the top one and the bottom one first. Obviously the bottom one I didn't need to do underneath, I just glued it down. The footage went missing here, but what I did was measured out and divided into how many photos I needed to space it out. And here you can see I'm using my Crafter's Companion dotty tape pen to stick down all the die cuts and images and leaves, and I use the dotty tape pen because it is good for sticking intricate things down so that you don't get those glue bogies or like stringy glue in between the holes and things like that. So you can see here I'm just sticking everything down in place. I did use a ruler for the writing to try and get it even, and here you can see the photos and everything done. Here, one thing I didn't do in the video that I added later, just because they hadn't came in the post yet, is I added these little pandas. I love pandas, so I was really excited to get these. And I coloured those in with my Spectrum Noir tri-blend markers, so it kind of adds that shadow on his hat. Thanks for watching.